Good afternoon, Patriots. Principal Beckwith here. We're coming back to you with the AHS Together daily video stream. We hope you had a nice extended weekend, that you got some rest. You may have even gotten some sun. My family and I did. In fact, I got a little bit too much sun. I got a little bit sunburned, not too much, but I loved the vitamin D on the sunshine, creating that whole sense of wellness. I hope you got a little bit of that this weekend. Thanks for the great videos and pictures that you are all sending. Here's one that Dr. Anderson sent this morning to us. He was absent from our prayer meeting and we didn't know why, and then I got this.
I'm taking up hunting again. Bagged my first trophy. Toilet paper. Cottonelle 18 point. Next is flour and yeast. Be warned.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Anderson. We hope your hunting was successful. Humor and hope are so important at times like this. We are trying to make the best of difficult circumstances. Sooner or later, though, a global situation like this becomes very personal for each of us. And it did this weekend for the Beckwith family, as we were informed that our son and brother, Sam, is needing to leave his mission in Colombia, South America, immediately. He's been serving there for only 3 months. He absolutely loves it there. He'll be leaving people he loves, families who were prepared for baptism, and native companions whom he adored. Of course, we're excited to see him, but like so many around the world, he and we had other plans. And you've probably heard this aphorism that life is what happens when you had other plans. So we're excited to see what plans the Lord has in store for all of this. We know that many of you are experiencing some personal things that are difficult too in your homes. So the big question right now is, how much longer will AHS Online be, and when do we foresee returning to campus? So we've been talking with our Health and Safety Committee and corresponding with them. We are focused right now on April 13th as our soonest return to school date. That's the Monday following spring break. We're still proposing that date to our board and will confirm likely tomorrow. We know that some schools have canceled for the remainder of the term, and that there is significant experience in other countries that demonstrate that maybe a few months, 3 or even more, are necessary to shelter in place, for physical distancing, etc. We'll let you know once our Health and Safety Committee and Board make a final decision. But there's so much that's rapidly evolving in this situation, and governments making decisions on almost a daily basis, that we felt like going through spring break would be a good next step for us, and then we'll reevaluate it at that point. So stay tuned, but probably circle April 13th as the soonest back to school date. Which raises some other questions like deposits and participation fees that may have been made for fourth term. We understand that things like Pizza Monday or some extracurricular participation fees you have paid for, you've made deposits for those things. We discussed those items in our administration meeting this morning, and much of that depends upon how long we will be in the online school versus on campus, whether we're doing this through April or May. So we will do a reconciliation in April or May. With the benefit of hindsight, and we'll be fair in terms of appropriate and necessary refunds and credits, we promise. In the meantime, if you need to contact our finance office, please do that. That's Adam Hendrickson, ahendrickson@ahsmail.com. That's Hendrickson with an O-N on the end. Okay, well that also touches on the topic of affordability generally. We also know that some of you are still trying to make hard decisions about whether you can stay at AHS next year for financial reasons. and that you were needing to weigh that question even before the pandemic-related pressures that could have affected or possibly could still affect your personal financial plans. So we just wanted to be clear about this. We want you to know that we have been working now for months on some exciting enrollment options that we hope will help some of you stay next year who may not have seen a path forward otherwise. We were working on these options even before COVID-19 became a thing, but we've been working on it even harder this last week since it became apparent that more families might feel financial pressure in new ways in the coming year. So stay tuned for more on these exciting options, and also for a survey that will gather your input on the options you'd like to see heading into next year. And if you need help in the short term to make it to the end of this school year, just send our finance manager or me a note. You can send me an email, a call, same thing to Adam Hendrickson. Again, that's ahendrickson@ahsmail.com. Hendrickson with an O-N. We are still receiving many applications to the school, and we do still expect to have waiting lists in many grade levels. Of course, that could change, but we had approximately 70 applications 2 weeks ago and 17 more since then. You will have preference over those applicants so long as your application is still in and you are still a current tuition-paying family at the school. So there's a few answers to some questions, a few that have been asked that we thought might be helpful for all of you. Okay, how about some feedback from you? First of all, I have to eat some humble pie. Last week, I said that we were going to start and end our Zoom meetings on time, and I actually started my own parent Q&A Zoom meeting today late. I was on another meeting. I was 10 minutes late. Some of you were probably there waiting for me right at noon. So I am eating humble pie there. Tomorrow, if you're on at noon and I'm not on, I will buy you a pie. That's right, I will buy you a pie if you're on time and I'm late. Just send me a text if you're there at noon and I'm not. And send me a text if you were there today, or give me a call or send me an email and you had some questions that you still want answered. Be happy to respond to those. Okay, some other feedback that you gave us today, including on that call. You're hoping for a little bit more time for breaks between the scheduled Zoom classes, especially for elementary school students and especially in families that have multiple children. That coordination is difficult to set all that up for multiple children in a 5-minute passing period or 10-minute. So we are looking at some options for modifying the schedules to give you a little bit more break time between those classes. Some of you mentioned today that you couldn't get pre-recorded videos for some classes, especially in elementary school. There was a national bandwidth issue that was reported by SharePoint. That's Microsoft. That's the sharing platform that we use for our video uploads. And so we think that's what that was. But if you're still looking for those, and they should be accessible now, we do have K-6 elementary school history, geography, and other pre-recorded videos posted on the parent portal of Veracross. Just go to calendars at the very top, click on calendars, then go to my calendar, and if you go to the current day in the month on that calendar, you will see most of the elective, or we call them special videos there, posted by teachers, especially history, geography, and some others there. You might find literature there as well. The core teachers are doing math and English via Zoom, so those ones are not pre-recorded. All right, you've been telling us that you love the Start Right videos. If you're not able to Zoom stream those, just use the YouTube link, which will not change. The Zoom link will not change. And tomorrow morning is Juanita Anderson, Coach Anderson. So log in for her. She'll be doing them at midday and at the end of day as well. And you may need more computers at your house. If you're finding out that you have students who need their own and sharing isn't working, we still have plenty of laptop computers that you can check out. Just let us know. We're here 9 to 1. We're taking calls through 3 o'clock every day. You can come get supplies and materials that you need. Okay. Well, let's just close this little broadcast with some thoughts about school spirit. Some of you may have noticed a social media push for students in local school districts to do a social media Spirit Week picture share on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. They've got a handle out there for that, and they're asking students to post pictures of some really fun things. It's a nice idea. Silly socks or pajamas. They've got certain days designated for certain things, school colors. And you are welcome to participate in that too. That's really open to the whole world. Students are home doing school around the entire world right now, so there's lots of fun ideas like this. But as we were thinking about what we might invite you to do as a school community specifically, we were thinking about some of the feelings right now of fear and scarcity that exist in communities and in countries around the world. And how do we counteract those feelings of fear and scarcity? Well, that really starts with us, in our own heart and in our own homes. It starts with our neighbors. We want you to consider giving something that is scarce to someone around you. It could be someone in your family. It could be someone right next door to you. Giving something scarce could also be something like giving companionship. Time is one of the most precious commodities that we have. And when the whole world seems to be pressing us for news headlines and the latest 24-hour news cycle, it seems like we have less time. We want you to give some of that time to someone who needs it, who might be afraid, who might feel like they're alone. Consider doing that, and you might take a picture of it too, especially something that is scarce. This will inspire a sense of community and abundance, because that's really who we are as a school community. We are together. That's the title of this whole broadcast series, AHS Together. One by one, looking out for each other. I'll close with this scripture. This is Doctrine and Covenants, section 78, verses 17 through 19. Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye are little children, and ye have not as yet understood how great the blessings are that the Father hath in his own hands and prepared for you. And ye cannot bear all things now. Nevertheless, be of good cheer, for I will lead you along. The kingdom is yours, and the blessings thereof are yours, and the riches of eternity are yours. And he who receiveth all things with thankfulness shall be made glorious, and the things of this earth shall be added unto him, even 100-fold, yea, more. This is the kind of abundance that we have when we give place for the Spirit in our heart and our homes, and we act on it. Let's do that together this week. That will be our Spirit Week. Thank you, Patriots. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.